All right, welcome back to the Pick Six Podcast Show here on CBS Sports HQ. We are, we're deep into the millennium, I guess. Okay, we're almost a quarter of the way through, or a fifth of the way through the millennium. So why not talk about the best draft of the century, I guess, is what we're doing here. We have 2004, 2007, 2010, and 2011 as possible options. Those are the nominees that we came up with. Of course, a plethora of Hall of Famers scattering each and every one of those drafts. Even the 2011 draft, which is not that far, in the rearview mirror, has a bunch of Hall of Famers like Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, and Jake Locker. I kid. BMAC, if you had to take one of those drafts as the best draft of the century, which one would you go with?
It's easy. It's 2011, guys. And the reason why I say it's 2011, because the bigger argument about 2011 is how many guys will get into the Hall and become first ballot Hallfers. That is the biggest argument. Looking at some of the list of guys, I went through their draft and I was amazed about some of the names that I forgot about that was associated with the draft. There you have it. First overall, former MVP of the league, Cam Newton. Von Miller, Hoffer. AJ Green, Hoffer. Pat Peterson, Hoffer. Julio Jones, Hoffer. JJ Watt, Hoffer. Sherman, Hoffer. You can make the argument for Kelsey. And then what about some other names that we're forgetting? Tyron Smith, Robert Quinn, Pouncey, Cameron Jordan, Ryan Kerrigan, Hayward, Rodney Hudson, Justin Houston, Jarrell Casey, KJ Wright, Chris Harris Jr. Oh, by the way, he wasn't even drafted. He was a free agent. I mean, you got so many guys up and down the list. Mark Ingram, talented players. Oh, by the way, what about Aldon Smith, who will make his return back into the NFL in this upcoming season? So for me, from top to bottom, when you look at the quality and the quantity, it's 2011.
BMAC makes a good point. I was going to go with 2007 until I saw that we had added 2004. I wanted to have 2005 so I could take BMAC because he was in that draft class. That was obviously the best draft class, him and Heath Miller. But I'm going 2004 because we got Eli Manning, Prince's favorite player ever. Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. Don't worry about J.P. Lossman going to the first round in that class. But those are three Hall of Famers right there. Not to mention Larry Fitzgerald, who is still playing along with the quarterbacks that I mentioned. Sean Taylor was balling out, top 10 pick. Vince Wilfork. You remember him because he wore overalls and nothing else, but he actually was a really good football player. Steve Jackson ran over people, and of course, Jared Allen was a day 3 pick, I believe, and a sack master. I love the quality of quarterbacks in that class, not to mention what Larry Fitzgerald is still doing at a high level in Arizona.
Yeah, so I was split between 2011 and like you, Ryan, I was leaning a lot towards 2007 when I was first looking at it. And I started to compare the numbers between the two, not even going by individual player. But the 2011 draft had 25 players who so far in their career have had approximate value of 50 or more. You look at 2007, they have 24 players. So that's pretty much even. You look at the high player in 2011, that's Cam Newton with approximate value of 104. Adrian Peterson is 2007's at 97. So again, give the edge slightly to 2011. This is why I went with 2011 over 2007. 2007 just doesn't have the quarterbacks. You look, this is the Jamarcus Russell draft. If you look at all the quarterbacks taken, the quarterback taken with the highest approximate value in his career is Trent Edwards. And then if you keep scrolling in that draft, you can find a 7th round pick, a punter who has more approximate value in his career than Trent Edwards had. So I could not give 2007 credit over 2011 because there simply wasn't one good quarterback. And you look at 2011, we mentioned Cam Newton, but Andy Dalton was the 2nd round pick. And look, we make fun of Andy Dalton a lot because John Breach is a big fan, but that is tremendous value getting Andy Dalton in the 2nd round. And the last draft I'll throw out real quick is 2012. I thought that was pretty underrated, wasn't up there. Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly, the 2 best middle linebackers you'd say of the decade, Fletcher Cox, Mitchell Schwartz, and then Kirk Cousins. Again, great value. And of course, Andrew Luck, who retired early, but was phenomenal when he was playing. So I go 2011, but 2012 and 7 were pretty close for me.
So just to recap, Ryan sucked up to BMAC by talking about the 05 draft. And then Sean completely buried Brady Quinn in the 2007 draft. Didn't even mention his name. Talked about Jamarcus Russell and just threw a big old pile of dirt on a Brady Quinn. I hope our good friend and colleague Brady is not watching CBS Sports HQ right now, because Sean, you're going to have a little Irish hit on your head if Brady finds out about the way that you just treated him, the utter disrespect that you showed to our good friend Brady Quinn. Clip this and send it to him. I would go with the 2011 draft too. And I'm a little, maybe we're being a little jaded here. A little recency bias is creeping in. 2011 draft was the first one I ever worked for CBS. By the way, 10-year anniversary at CBS coming up in July. That's kind of crazy. That makes me feel very old. But the 2011 draft was the first one. Cam Newton, first overall pick. I think that if Cam can find a second spot, and get a resurgence in his career at all, can get healthy, there's a decent chance. BMAC listed all those Hall of Famers. I think Cam can get in the Hall of Fame too. I mean, he already holds a lot of quarterback records. I understand there are obstacles for him, but there are a ton. It's possible, right? Don't shake your head at me. There are a ton of great players in there. Tyron Smith. Robert Quinn has had a great career. Cameron Jordan, just a lot of guys who really emerged from that class. Mark Ingram has been an excellent player. Cameron Hayward, underrated as well. Kyle Rudolph had a nice little career too. I would probably go with the 2011 draft, but I think the 2004 draft with its quarterback power really gives us a meaty opportunity there as well. That's it for the show. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place on CBS Sports HQ. For Ryan, Sean, and BMAC, I'm Will Brinson. Subscribe, rate, and review to the podcast, and watch us on HQ every day. See ya.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.